The 49ers beat the Seahawks 27-17. This was probably the biggest story of the weekend. Trey Lance breaks his ankle, requires surgery, has successful surgery. He is now out for the season. My initial thoughts are this. And I agree wholeheartedly with Darren Orlowski when he said, I'm concerned about Trey Lance's development. Because if you really think of it, in the last 3 to 4 years, he hasn't played that much football, let alone NFL football. And it feels weird, man. It's kind of nasty when I'm seeing all these outlets and a lot of players not happy that Trey Lance is hurt, but happy that Jimmy G is now the starting quarterback again. Let me remind people, Jimmy G, he's a good quarterback. He's not a great quarterback. I think the last time a good quarterback, not a great quarterback, won a Super Bowl was what? The year the Broncos won against the Cam Newton and the Panthers. Yeah, they had Peyton Manning. I'm not disrespecting Peyton Manning, but Peyton Manning at that point of his career could barely throw the ball. They won because of their defense. At that point of his career, I think actually it was his last season. He wasn't a great quarterback. He was okay. But due to injuries, he just didn't have the arm strength, that wasn't the Peyton Manning of old. I don't want... You see, the NFL is a cold sport, bro. Sports in general is cold. Because here's what could happen. 49ers could go on and be very successful this year. They could make it to the NFC Championship. Hell, they could make it all the way to the Super Bowl. They could win the Super Bowl. And then people are going to look at Trey Lance and be like, what do we really need you for? And it's not his fault that he hasn't played much football. You see, you can't get much better at just observing. You have to do, especially when we talk about sports. I can watch Steph Curry highlights forever. If I don't put in the same work as Steph Curry, shoot the same amount as Steph Curry, then I'm never going to be anywhere close to as good as Steph Curry at anything. I just don't want, again, I don't want his development to be in jeopardy at this point, because he's not going to play yet again. So that when he does play, if he does play again next year, it'll just be yet another, well, are they going to keep Jimmy G? Or are they going to do a Trey Lance? Trey Lance isn't ready. Of course Trey Lance isn't going to be ready because he doesn't play that much due to injury, due to, having Jimmy G in front of him. He hasn't played that much. And it sucks. I think the 49ers are better today as far as in the current situation. Yeah, I think they're better with Jimmy G than Trey Lance because Jimmy G has played more. He's ready. Trey Lance is more of a, you have to develop him. Colin Cowherd said it best. With Trey Lance, they're in development mode. With Jimmy G, they're in win now mode. Because Jimmy G he's done it. He's been there. He knows the scheme. He knows the system. They've been to the Super Bowl. They were a pass or two away from winning the Super Bowl. Trey Lance is more of a development. Like, no, he's not ready now. No, he's not going to lead you to a Super Bowl right now. But he could possibly be good enough to do that. So I wish nothing but the best for Trey Lance. It sucks that you got hurt. And I do fear about his development and how that comes along, seeing as though you're missing yet another year of your career. And he already doesn't have that much football under his belt in the first place, college or NFL. So Yeah, I feel bad, man.